الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا حبيب الله. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رحمة للعالمين وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا خاتم النبيين. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us again to present ourselves in His blessed house to offer our Salatul Jumu'ah. And as usual, inshallah, in a very short amount of time before that, we'll try to learn something and more importantly, try to ensure that we take on board what is said and implement it into our lives, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the glorious Quran, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا ارْكَعُوا وَاسْجُدُوا وَاعْبُدُوا رَبَّكُمْ. Then وَافْعَلُوا الْخَيْرَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. O those of you who believe, bow down in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, prostrate, do sajda in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and worship your Lord. Worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do good deeds. Why all of this? لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. So that you become successful, so that you succeed, you attain salvation and forgiveness. وَفَعَلُوا الْخَيْرِ. And do goodness. What is goodness? The scholars of tafsir mention various interpretations of this word goodness. We find Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu mentioning that this means good character and goodness with relatives, with close relatives. And likewise, generally good character. Also, the scholars mention helping a Muslim brother in the time of need. This is one of the best ways of doing goodness. So this is the portion that inshallah will focus on helping Muslim brothers in need and generally helping Muslims. Our main focus will be in terms of financial help, but keeping in mind Muslims, benefiting and helping other Muslims is not limited to benefit in terms of like a financial benefit. It could mean benefiting and helping other people through knowledge. Likewise, any advice, when a Muslim asks us for advice, we give them our sincere advice that we truly believe to be true. Not what we think they would like to hear, but what we, according to our understanding, realize that would be the best for them, because they have asked us for their advice. They haven't asked us, tell me what I want to hear. They've asked us, what do you think I should do in this case? So and at that point, we give them advice that is beneficial for them. So this is also a way of doing goodness and helping and benefiting. Benefiting Muslims via your authority. If you have some sort of an authority and that can be a means of benefit to Muslims, that is one way of benefiting them. Another way of benefiting Muslims and doing goodness is inviting them towards goodness, inviting them towards good deeds. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam has mentioned in a hadith mentioned by Imam Muslim in his Sahih, likewise Sunan Abi Dawood, it's mentioned in there as well. Sunan al-Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, and Musnad Imam Ahmad, and various other books of hadith. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates, the beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, من نفس عن مؤمن كربة من كرب الدنيا نفس الله عنه كربة من كرب يوم القيامة. Whomsoever removes a difficulty, any difficulty of a Muslim in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remove a difficulty of his on the Day of Judgment. And this is significant for all of us because One is, look at the reward we're getting. We remove a difficulty of a Muslim in this world. Any difficulty. It could be a small thing. It could even be a small financial help. Let's say, for argument's sake, we even gave them £5. But look at the reward that we're getting, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remove a difficulty of this person on the Day of Judgment. And on the Day of Judgment, there is no currency except good deeds, as we've discussed in the past. On the Day of Judgment, the currency is good deeds. If we have wronged another person, how do we pay him back? He takes a portion and a share of our good deeds. We lose out on good deeds. On that day, the main concern for everybody is good deeds. And we mentioned, and we looked at riwayat before, narrations and the aqwal of our salaf in the past, that even parents, they would be wanting to take any good deed that they can, even from their son that they love so much. Because on that day, everybody's main concern is good deeds. So on that day, a person cannot pay their way out. But the hadith is saying, you pay, if you were to pay a small amount, or it doesn't have to pay, you remove a difficulty of a person, on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall remove a difficulty from you. On that day where you cannot pay for that difficulty to be removed. The way to pay for it in this world, by removing a difficulty of another Muslim in need. And then the hadith continues, mentioning various deeds and their rewards. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, whomsoever causes ease for a person in the state of difficulty. This mu'asir has been interpreted in various ways by the scholars, but we'll just take it in its usual meaning for now, that whomsoever causes ease for a person stuck in a difficult situation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall cause ease for him in the world and in the hereafter. So we cause a meaning of ease, we cause ease for other people, we are rewarded in this world and likewise rewarded in the hereafter. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says likewise, whomsoever conceals the fault of another Muslim, he may find out about a shortcoming, about a fault of his. Now rather than going and advertising it to everybody, trying to expose this person, if he conceals this person's fault in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall conceal a fault of his on the Day of Judgment. On that day, so we find out about somebody's shortcoming. We are the ones that know it. Nobody else knows it. We have an option. We conceal it. On the Day of Judgment, if our faults were to be revealed, the entire creation is there. On that day, a way to save ourselves from embarrassment is conceal the faults of people in this day, in this world. On that day, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall conceal our faults. Then the beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam further mentions, Wallahu fi aun al-abd ma kana al-abdu fi auni akhi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to help a person as long as a person continues to help his brother. So be of benefit to Muslim brothers, try to remove their difficulties, remove their problems, and inshallah that is a way of us receiving help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions further deeds, but inshallah we'll move on to other narrations which are, because the next portion is not directly related to our topic. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gives an example of the Muslims. The Muslims as a nation, as an ummah. This is mentioned by Imam Muslim. The wording I have in front of me likewise is mentioned by Imam Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala in a slightly varied wording, but it's the same message. And other books of hadith also mention this as well. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, مثل المؤمنين في توادهم وتراحمهم وتعاطفهم مثل الجسد. And another, the narration straight after this in Muslim actually says, like a man. This is like a body. The example of the Muslims in terms of their love, affection and mercy towards each other is like that of one body. One body, one jasad, one body. Why? إذا اشتكى منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والحمى. If one part of your body is facing an issue, a problem, maybe you have pain in one part of your body, your entire body is impacted due to that. And the wording is impacted through sleeplessness and fever, illness. Because if we have a problem, let's say in our hand, we have pain, it will cause us to lose sleep because that pain is not letting us fall asleep. And due to that, a person could develop a fever. So that is a reasoning behind it, the scholars explain. But now, the example, a way for us to understand this example, if I have pain in my hand, do I just leave it saying, well, it's none of my business, it's all right? Or I try to go to the doctor, I try to take some painkillers, I try to do something to fix this because it's impacting my function overall. So this is why this example is so beautiful, and it shows the close connection that the Muslims have. Just like when my hand is hurting, I don't leave it because it's none of my business, I try to fix it. So when a Muslim is going through a difficulty, another Muslim, his attitude shouldn't be, well, it's not my problem. His attitude should be just like if we are one body, when a Muslim feels pain and difficulty at any point throughout the world, this person is also impacted by it. And this is the message the hadith is giving to us. So whether we take the narration that says one man or one body, but it's the same message. One man, when a body part of his is impacted, his entire function is impacted by it. And he makes efforts to rectify that, to ensure that that problem goes away. Same when a person sees a Muslim in difficulty, he should make his efforts to rectify and solve that situation. And if he cannot, if for argument's sake it requires financial help and he's not in a situation, in a position to offer that financial help, the minimum he can do is pray and supplicate in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his Muslim brother or his Muslim sister. And this is something we all need to take on board. Likewise, the beloved and blessed Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentions in a hadith mentioned by Imam Muslim, and he says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall say on the day of judgment to a person. I'll give you the summary of a hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first will say to a person on the day of judgment that, O son of Adam, I fell ill. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this to the person, I fell ill and you did not visit me. Now this person will reply that, Ya Allah, how can you fall ill? You are the one who sustains the entire universe. How can you fall ill? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will respond to this person, so and so servant of mine fell ill and you did not visit him. Had you visited him, you would have found my mercy with him. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would say that, O son of Adam, I asked you to feed me and you did not feed me. He will again say, Ya Allah, you're the sustainer of the entire universe. You're the one who provides sustenance to the entire universe, to the entire creation. How could you need food? How could I feed you? How could you ask me for food? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would say that, don't you know that such and such an individual, he asked you for food and you did not feed him. Had you fed him, you would have found my mercy there. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I asked you to give me something to drink and you did not give me anything. Again, this person will reply the same, that how could this be possible? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would then say that so and so person, he asked you to give him something to drink and you did not. Had you given him something to drink, you would have found me there. And this is what the entire wording for the full hadith literally means, you would have found me there. Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says that you would have found my mercy and my reward there. You would have been rewarded for this deed. Likewise, the beloved and blessed Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was asked, Imam al-Tabrani mentions this, that he was asked by a man that who is the most useful person, person who is loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. And likewise, he was asked which person is most beloved to Allah and which action is the most beloved in the court of Allah. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam replies, the most beloved person in the court of Allah is the one who benefits people the most, who is most beneficial to others. And the most beloved act in the court of Allah is that happiness which you cause in the heart of your Muslim brother. You become a means of happiness entering the heart of your Muslim brother. Or either happiness that you cause, or you remove a difficulty of his. So out of the most beloved actions in the court of Allah, you cause happiness to enter the heart of a Muslim, or you remove a difficulty, a trouble, a problem of his, or you fulfill a need of his. And then the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions with regards to his own attitude towards this. He says that I walk with a Muslim brother to fulfill his need, to help him. This is more beloved to me, this is more preferable to me than to do i'tikaf in my masjid in Al-Madinatul Munawwarah for 1 full month. To do i'tikaf in full month, what is more beloved to me than this? That I go with a Muslim brother, I walk with him to fulfill his need. This is again the encouragement from the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam with regards to helping another Muslim brother. Now, when we help another Muslim, the reward is not only, oh, this is something that we are encouraged and we're acting upon it, but we are rewarded for this as well. In Al-Mustadrak ala Sahihain, Imam Al-Hakim mentions a narration that whomsoever feeds his brother any food, bread, until this person is satiated, until this person is full, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cause 70 trenches between him and the fire of hell. He will distance him, and each trench is, in between each trench, the distance is 500 years worth of journey. Now, each trench, and he's distanced from the fire of hell 70 trenches. Likewise, there are other narrations, but one narration I'll mention. In Sayyidina Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu, he mentions, and also, in fact, one narration that is mentioned by Imam Ahmad in his Musnad, the beloved Sayyidina Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu narrates this as well. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Man arada an tustajaba da'watuh wa an tukshafa kurbatuh. Whomsoever wants his prayer, his supplication to be accepted, and his calamities to be removed. He's in a problem himself. He wants this problem of his removed. Or he wants his supplication to be accepted. A lot of people we see, they sometimes might ask us for dua. Because they might think that this person, they have a positive opinion that this person, inshallah, when he makes dua for me, it will be accepted. So why? Because they want that dua to be accepted. We're given this by the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this formula that we've been given now. If you want your dua to be accepted, or if you want a difficulty of yours to be elevated and removed, then what should this person do? فَلْيُفَرِّجْ عَنْ مُعْسِرٍ. Then he should remove the difficulty of a person stuck in a difficult situation. If a person wants his dua to be accepted, he wants his difficulty to be removed, what is the solution? He should remove the difficulty of another person. And inshallah, his dua will be accepted. His difficulty will be removed. There are many other narrations. But the summary is, the bottom line is, when we help another Muslim, we are not only helping them, but inshallah, we're also receiving its benefit. We are receiving its benefit in this world and in the hereafter. I think it's mentioned in At-Tirmidhi and other books of hadith as well. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, whomsoever gives his person something to eat in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him the food of paradise. Whomsoever gives his brother something to drink in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him the drink of paradise. Whomsoever gives his brother something to wear in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make him wear the garments of paradise. So again, such a cheap price for these blessings. Because like I said at the beginning, we cannot pay for these things in the hereafter. There is no currency in the hereafter, except good deeds on the Day of Judgment. But we can pay through small currency in this world, and inshallah we can hope from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are rewarded. Why I mention this is because recently, alhamdulillah, a lot of brothers donated. We know the situation in Pakistan, but those of us that haven't, we should still try to help out, and not just at this occasion. Anytime we see Muslims struggle at any point in the world, keep in mind Muslims are like one body. We should try to help where we can, and if we cannot, then the minimum we can all do is make dua, supplicate in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make dua for the Muslim ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the ability to do so. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to feel the pain of our Muslim brothers and sisters, and at the very minimum, supplicate for them. Ameen. Inshallah, bi azan hogi phir sunnat hai.